and the name of this chapter is The Thief's Story. Obviously, the name of the chapter itself suggests that there is a thief, and the thief himself is a narrator of the chapter, and he is himself narrating how and what happened in his life. This thief is a very young boy, a 15-year-old boy, and his name, he tells us that it is Hari Singh, though he tells us that Hari Singh is not his real name, but he takes up every month a new name, and this month he is telling us that he has named himself as Hari Singh. And obviously, if there is a thief, somebody is required who should be robbed also. So there is another person who is Anil here, and he is a man of 25 years. Now, how and what happens and how the story goes on, let us go on reading this chapter. There's a young boy makes friends with Anil. Now, if you want to rob, there are robbers who just enter your house, they break open your house at night, and they just steal then and there without even knowing who you are. But here, Hari Singh steals in a different way. He goes to this man, he befriends a person every month, and then he uh, uh, gains the trust of that person. And finally, once he knows everything about the house, then he steals. This is the way he employs his trade, that of stealing. Here, Anil trusts him completely. The person whom this month he is going to steal, his name is Anil, and he is a very easygoing man, a very kind, sympathetic man, is very calm person. He is not greedy, he is not worried about money and all, and he doesn't even have too much of money also, and he just moves on in his life very calmly, very smoothly, and easygoing manner. So he trusts him completely. Now, also one thing about Anil is that he trusts people. Trusting people is also a quality, and employs him. So he is employed. How he is employed and everything, let us see. Does the boy betray his trust? Let us see whether the boy betray his trust or not. Okay, moving on. I was still a thief. It is written that I was still a thief when I met Anil, and though only 15. So the narrator is the thief himself, and he tells that he is only 15 years old, and he has met Anil. Just a moment, I'm removing this. Yes. Okay. So I was just a thief when I met Anil, and though only 15, I was an experienced and fairly successful hand. He's just 15 years old. Though he is just 15, but he is very, very experienced and fairly successful, means reasonably successful in his trade, that is stealing. So he's a very good thief, though he's still 15. Anil was watching a wrestling match. Now, where does Hari Singh and Anil meet? It is a wrestling match which is going on, and both of them are onlookers. When I approached about 25. So when the stealer, or the stealer approaches him, who is to whom he approaches Anil, who is 25-year-old, a tall, lean fellow. Lean means very lean and thin fellow, and he looked easygoing. Okay, first thing, whenever a robber, a thief is stealing somebody, robbing somebody, he is also good at face reading. And here, as he notices his face, his gestures, he feels that he is an easygoing man, and it will be easy to rob him, to steal him, and to cheat him. Kind and simple enough for my purpose. Which purpose is this? My purpose is to steal. So I hadn't had much luck of late. Now, recently, he is talking about the thief. Hari Singh is telling that recently means the time that has just passed. During this time, I was not much lucky, not much fortunate, and I didn't get anybody to steal, and thought I might be able to get into the young man's confidence. And I thought that I will be very easily able to befool and cheat the young man who is Anil. You look a bit of a wrestler yourself. Now, who is interested and who spoke? Obviously, the thief. He started speaking. Hari Singh spoke to Anil and he said, "You also look like a wrestler yourself." And what is he actually doing here? He is flattering the man Anil. And he says that a little flattery helps in making friends. And when you praise somebody, when you flatter somebody, it helps people making friends. And the reply which came from Anil, that was not expected. So do you. That means you also appear like to be a wrestler. Now this was not taken up in a good taste, because Hari Singh was very lean and thin man, and he was not at all like a wrestler. Wrestler means the person who wrestles, जो कुश्ती करते हैं, they are wrestlers. Which put me off for a moment, because at that time I was rather thin. So Hari Singh has taken it in a bad taste, because he was very lean and thin and there was nothing like a wrestler in his body. So if somebody is commenting that you also look like that, that means he understood that this is an ironical statement which is just made to laugh at him. Well, I said modestly, I do wrestle a bit, but still he said that I sometimes wrestle a bit. And you know that if you are a thief, you need to wrestle, you need to fight with some people, somewhere or the other, you need to snatch or something. And now, what is your name? Hari Singh. The name is finally asked by Anil, and the reply came Hari Singh. And just near this, he's telling to us, the readers, that he's lying. I lied. I spoke false. I spoke untruth. I took a new name every month. And what is my habit? That every month I took up a new name. That kept me ahead of the police and my former employees. Obviously, they are robbers, they are stealers, they are thieves, and obviously, they just cannot keep their one name. It is better if they keep on changing their name. Name is identity. So if they keep on changing their identity, the police will not be able to catch them. It will become difficult. Also, their previous employers, whom he had already cheated, would not be able to follow these people. Here, especially Anil. So Anil, like the other robbers, keep changing names, and the information given here is every month. After this introduction, so once this introduction has been given, Anil talked about the well-oiled wrestlers who were grunting. Now Anil has started talking about the wrestlers, casual kind of talks, because Anil is not aware about the prospects, the plans of Hari Singh. So he is just talking about well oiled. You know, wrestlers put a lot of oil on their body so that they are not able to catch or seize their body nicely. They are able to get out of the clutches of the other. Who were gruntling. Gruntling means making a gluttural noise, a throatal noise, because you know when they are wrestling, they are applying a lot of energy and force. So an obvious sound is created from the throat. Lifting, and what they do, these people do, these wrestlers do, they lift and they throw each other about. I think I didn't have much to say. And here, this is the point where our thief Hari Singh is telling us that there is not much to say now. I just have to make him friend. But what to speak now? A casual friendship. To begin with a casual friendship, how can I be sustaining a long talk? He cannot. Anil also walked away because now things are over. I followed casually, but the thief is following him because he has selected him for his next robbery very casually without clearing his intentions that he is purposely following him. He follows. Hello again. Obviously, he said, that is, Anil said, hello again. I gave him my most appealing smile. And when you really want to give an impression that you are too good, too nice, this is the most appealing smile. I want to work for you. Now, finally, he has spoken up. He has revealed that why he came there. Very nice smile, so that he is able to appeal, and he clears his prospect that I want to work for you. That means please hire me. And what is the next what is the reply that came? Obviously unexpected and disappointing, and that is, but I can't pay you. Now when he is not able to pay, no, otherwise it should have been that the the story ends here, that if somebody cannot pay, how can you work for somebody? But here, no, he is there to steal, so he'll follow him even though he says that he has no money and he can't pay for it. Now, normally, uh, listen, I have come to this second page, and the problem here is I am not getting the second page. Just wait for a second. The second page was downloaded.
Yeah.
Soumya, come here.
Don't want this.
Okay. Finally, it is downloaded and I can continue. We can see there is an age difference between them. I thought over for a minute. Perhaps I had misjudged my man. Now, Hari Singh is saying that I thought for a minute that this man has no money to pay me. Then what is the use going to his house and finding something to steal? Obviously, somebody should have money to steal. So at one point of time, he said that I have misjudged my man. He's not a man who is rich enough to be stolen, to get robbed the money. I asked, can you feed me? But the second question I asked was, can you feed me at least? Even if you don't, if you can't give me money, but at least you can feed me. And the next question came up that, can you cook? And he said that I can cook. I lied again. Now this was the second lie. The first lie was that I am Hari Singh. This is the second lie, that I can cook. If you can cook, then then maybe I can feed you. So at least if you are able to feed me, I can come. Sorry, feed me. I can hire you as a cook in my house. He took me to his room over the Jumna sweet shop, and he called me and he took me to his house where his room was. He's not a rich man, he just has one room, and that is over the Jumna sweet shop. So this room is over the sweet shop, and told me I could sleep on the balcony. Now there are no two rooms, so where to give him place? So finally he has given him place on the balcony. But the meal I cooked that night must have been terrible. Okay, finally, he has got food and he has got shelter in the form of balcony also. But the problem is that as soon as he cooked the meal that night, I cooked that night must have been so terrible. It was so terribly bad because Anil gave it to a stray dog. Stray dog are the dogs who are just roaming about here and there on the streets. So they are not the pet dogs who are kept by the people. So the food was so bad that he just threw it away and gave it to the dogs and told me to be off and just told me to get out and get away. But I just hung around. I did not lose my heart. I just hung around. Hung is the past tense of hang, and it means I stood there only. I didn't go away. Smiling in my most appealing way. This is again the second time he is trying to impress him. Again started smiling so that this man melts, and his as soon as his heart melts, he is kind enough, he sympathizes with him, and he keeps him in his house. And he couldn't help laughing. So finally, Anil started laughing. He was laughing because this boy couldn't cook anything but just wanted him to keep him in his house. Finally, he's kind and sympathetic, he kept him. Later, he patted me on the head and said, "Never mind. He would teach me to cook." Finally, he said that I know you can't cook at all, but I am going to teach you how to cook. He also taught me to write my name. Only did he teach him to cook, but also taught him how to write his name. That means he is teaching him how to read and write, making him literate, and said he would soon teach me to write whole sentences and to add numbers. And also, Anil promised him that he would also teach him to write whole sentences and also add numbers. Now, these are the two important things in life. If you know language very well and if you know mathematics very well, you can earn. So, right now, he is a thief because he's illiterate. He has no future. But soon he can earn and he can live his life properly. I was grateful. And obviously, because he is ready to teach me, he is moving ahead, securing my future. So I am very, very thankful to him. Grateful is thankful. I knew that once I could write like an educated man, there would be no limit to what I could achieve. And one thing, though Hari Singh was a thief, but this much he knew very well, that if he becomes educated, then he can earn a lot more. He can lead a respectful life, a life of respect. He will have a job, he can earn, he will have a family, and everything will be proper and settled. So I could write like an educated man. There would be no limit to what I could achieve. Obviously, we know that education opens a door to everything in your life. And here also the same thing happens. It was quite pleasant working for Anil. And it has been said here that working for Anil was very good because Anil was extremely helpful. Anil was so helpful that he is ready to teach him, though he was not he was a very bad cook still. I made the tea in the morning. Now he is not a good cook. So what are the other jobs he is doing? I made the tea in the morning and then would take my time buying the day's supplies. He goes to the market and he buys all the groceries and other items which are required during the day, usually making a profit of about a rupee a day. After all, who is he? He is a thief. So here also every day the money that Anil gives him, he steals at least 1 rupee out of that and he makes a profit while buying all the groceries and other items. I think he knew I made a little money this way. And though Anil is very kind, he is not a fool. He knows very well that I am making money, but this is a very little money, just a sum of 1 rupee. So he doesn't mind. And we already know that Anil is an easygoing man and he's a calm man. He will not pay much attention and he's not a greedy man. He doesn't think much about money this way, but he did not seem to mind. Though he knew that I was stealing 1 rupee every day, but he did not mind this. Okay, so gradually we are seeing that how the chemistry between them goes on, and how Anil has been kind enough and teaching him how to do things. Now, this paragraph is important here. I won't say because um, here this paragraph is about Anil's job. And in this last examination, last year itself in the board examination, the question came that what is the job of Anil, or how did Anil earn? And hardly a few students were able to attempt this, because mostly nobody paid attention to it. It was just one paragraph out of this whole chapter. So just be sure that you are able to understand this. Anil made money by fits and starts. Now, fits and starts means irregular kind of money, discontinuous kind of money, inconsistent and regular, and that you get at a regular and irregular intervals of time. So that means there is no fixed salary, but you are sometimes earning and you are sometimes devoid of any kind of money. He would borrow 1 week. So one thing that they have told is he earns in irregular, inconsistent intervals. He would borrow 1 week. 1 week he would borrow because he has no money, and next week he gets the money and then he lends the next. He kept worrying about his next check, and because he doesn't have a regular source of income, he is always worried about the next check he would receive from his publisher, because he is otherwise a writer. But as soon as it arrived, he would go out and celebrate. Now, on one hand, he lacks money, and sometimes he is living in lack of money, in a way of we won't say poverty, but lack of money. But on the other hand, way, when he gets a check, he would go out and celebrate. That means he doesn't value money, or we would say that he is not very considerate about money. It seems he wrote for magazines, and Hari Singh is telling us that he thinks he wrote for magazines. Yes, he is a writer. A queer way to make a living for an illiterate man who is a thief. Writing job is a very strange job, because who works to write? So for Hari Singh, this is a strange way of making money, and whenever the publisher uh, uh, gives the money, they have the money, otherwise they are devoid of money. This is the lifestyle of Anil. One evening, he came home with a small bundle of notes. Obviously, he is not a rich man. Even if he gets money, it will be a small amount of money, saying he had just sold a book to a publisher. Finally, he told that he broke out the information that there is a book that he wrote, and now finally the publisher has bought it, or he has sold the book to the publisher to be published, and the publisher has given a sum of money. At night, I saw him tuck the money under the mattress. Now, if he was a careful man, if he was a greedy man, he would have kept this money, which is hard earned and which is hardly received, properly in a cupboard, in the locker, etc. But we know that he is an easygoing man, and he is not a mercenary person. He is not concerned about money. So he very simply tucks the money. Tucks means puts the money under the mattress, as a very casual people normally do. So the same is done here. I had been working for Anil for almost a month. Now it has been almost a month now, and apart from cheating on shopping, during this whole month, Hari Singh was not able to do any kind of stealing except cheating and getting 1 rupee every day from the shopping money that was given every day. So this was the only stealing done, and had not done anything in my line of work. Now, my line of work is his trade, that is stealing. So, if a robber doesn't rob for a long time, suppose it's 1 month, then he starts feeling restless. He has to steal. He's very used to and accustomed to stealing. I had every opportunity for doing so. And the man has got money also now. The man is very simple also. The man is very cool also. He's careless also. He's easygoing also. So he is a very good victim if you want to steal. So so I had every opportunity for doing so. What are the different reasons that he has opportunity? See, Anil had given me a key to the door. On one hand, he is very easygoing, he is careless. Second thing, he has even given me a key to the door so that I can come in and go out anytime I pleased, anytime I liked. He was the most trusting person I had ever met. And this piece of information is being given that he is, I have never ever seen a person who trusts so much in his entire life. So nobody trusts so much, but he does. And that is why it was so difficult to rob him. And because he trusts you, because he believes in you, that is why something pinches in you and you are not very easy at robbing. That makes robbing a little difficult. It's easy to rob a greedy man. Now Hari Singh is telling us that in his trade, what happens, what happens when he steals a greedy man or any other man? How does it feel? He's telling us that it is easy to rob a greedy man because he can afford to be robbed. Okay, our time limit is moving. We are just left with 10 minutes. After that, please rejoin again. Rejoin again, okay? Yes. I had been working for Anil for almost a month, and okay, students. So he's telling us that it is difficult to rob a greedy man. Sorry, it's not. It's easy to rob a greedy man because he can afford to be robbed. He has a lot of money, and you would not have your conscience pricked when you steal a greedy man. But it's difficult to rob a careless man. He's always careless. So, how it is difficult? Sometimes he doesn't even notice that he has been robbed. Now, a careless man is so careless that he doesn't even realize that he has kept the money and that money has been robbed. So, here, what happens that takes all the pleasure out of your work. Now, Hari Singh is telling us that when I steal the money from somebody, and if he feels the pain of being robbed, then I get a pleasure, I get happiness. But with careless people, the problem is that they don't even notice that they have been robbed. So this is taking away all the pleasure of stealing, and that is why he dislikes stealing the careless people. But this time Anil is careless. Well, it's time I did some real work. And now, because Anil is having some money, so this time obviously it's time to steal. I told myself that if I will not steal him, I will become out of practice. I will even uh, forget the art of stealing. So it's very important that we know that practice makes a man perfect. And if you don't practice, if you don't swim or if you don't cycle, you may forget things. So you should regularly do something to be perfect at it. And if I don't take the money, he will only waste it on friends. And the excuse that he's giving to himself is that even if I don't take the money, if I don't steal the money of Anil, he will waste this money on his friends. He will celebrate and he will waste. After all, he doesn't even pay me. And just as an excuse, he is giving to himself that Anil is not even paying me. Though on the other hand, the reality is that it is his gratitude that he is keeping this boy in his house, though he knows nothing, and though he is not a good cook also still. But just as an excuse, he is telling that he doesn't even pay me, so it is all right to steal. Otherwise, also he will just waste his money. Okay, moving on. Anil was asleep. Finally, he brought the money and he tucked it under the mattress and he is sleeping. A beam of moonlight stepped over the balcony. A very dim light of moon is falling on the balcony and fell on the bed. And I can see a little bit because it is falling on the bed also. I sat up on the floor. I sat on the floor so that I can take the money from under the mattress, considering the situation. So considering the situation, obviously, I have to be very vigilant and alert here. And while I'm stealing something, if I took the money, I could catch the 10:30 express to Lucknow. Right now, he's just thinking as a robber, as a stealer, and a thief. That he will just take the money, steal the money, and he will go out, rush, and catch the 10:30 express, that is train, to Lucknow. Slipping out of the blanket very silently without making noise, very stealthily, I came out of my blanket. I crept up to the bed. Creeping up is again very silently moving up to the bed. Anil was sleeping peacefully. Now he is already a man at peace. He's calm, he's composed, and he has no worries because he has no attachment with money or anything. So very peacefully he is sleeping. His face was clear. And if we can see in the light beam of moonlight, we can say the face is very clear and unlined. Unlined means without any lines. Maybe the lines are because of the frowning, that is the tensions in your life, or maybe because of something else. But here you know that this man Anil is very calm, composed. He has no tensions and worries because he's kind, he is forgiving, so he is without tensions. He is an easygoing man. Even I had more marks on my face. Though he is 25 and I am 19, but I have more marks on my face. And what are the two reasons I have more marks? On one hand, I am right now in tension because I am stealing the money. And second, though mine were mostly scars. And the second thing is, he is in a trade where he steals, he has to wrestle, he has to fight with some people. So he has scars on his face also because he's a thief. My hand slid under the mattress. Finally, my hand slid inside the mattress. My hand moved inside, searching for the notes. When I found them, I drew them out with a sound, without a sound. So, very silently, I drew the amount of money, the whole bundle out. Anil sighed in his sleep. Anil took a deep breath. Maybe he felt a little disturbed, but he did not wake up and turned on his side, and he took a side while sleeping towards me, and he was now towards me. I was startled. I was suddenly surprised and shocked, and quickly crawled out of the room. And very fastly, without making noise, like an animal, crawled, moved with my forehands and knees. I walked out of the room. When I was on the road, now I can be loud enough. I began to run. Now, very less time is left. He started running. I had the notes at my waist. My notes are kept at my waist. And how they are kept? I'm wearing my pajamas, held there by the string of my pajama. He is wearing his pajama, and with the string, with the thread of the pajama, he has tied the notes. I slowed down to a walk. Now, after running a lot, I slowed down. It was just a walk now, and counted the notes. Now, till now, he was not knowing and aware how much money was there. When he counted, it was 600 rupees. And these 600 rupees were in multiples of 50 rupees. So 50 rupees notes were there, and together they counted up to making it 600. I could live like an oil-rich Arab for a week or two. Now, this is a huge sum of money. With 600 rupees, he can live like a rich Arab, like a sheikh, like an Arab, but just for a week or two. It is not to live for a whole life or even not for a whole month also, just a week or two. So can we see that and can we pay attention and realize here that stealing is not a long-term job. You will have to again steal because here also you can suppose you are living in a rich lifestyle. It may be a week or two, but otherwise, okay, you can just make a year at the most, or a month or a year, depending upon how much you spend. But it cannot last forever. You finally will have to steal it again. So this is a life which is very risky and unstable. So obviously the best life is being educated and doing a job. Moving on. When I reached the station, I did not stop at the ticket office. Do you think he is a decent boy that he will take and buy a ticket from the ticket collector's office? No, he is a thief. And thieves never buy tickets.